Howdy, Immortalium here. Today I'm reviewing the second season of The World God Only Knows. Now, if you're not aware of the fact that I've reviewed the first season of The World God Only Knows, I would recommend you go check that out first. You know, it's kind of important. I'm not going to really be, revising what I did in the previous video, so I'm just going to be addressing the new stuff to do with the series. So, basically, what are the differences between this season and the previous season? Well, first of all, the plot is it's fairly similar to what happened before. Basically, there's 3 girls instead of 4 that Kema must deal with. He must deal with the loose soul that's in them and retrieve them so that Elsie can then, put it away and send it back to hell. But there's also a storyline about another demon, Hakwa, which is the purple-haired one on the cover. Basically, there's a storyline about her and about how she's doing with souls, with the loose souls, and all that jazz. So it's a little different story-wise, not much different, but a little. Basically, about Hakwa, she isn't that big a character in this season, just to tell you. She has her own storyline that is 2 episodes long, but then after that she appears in 2 other episodes as kind of, one is just kind of a bit character, and the other, she's the kind of lead force of it, but not too important again. So the main deal with her is, episodes 3 and 4. Now, as a character, she's quite an interesting comparison to Elsie. She, for one, she's actually able to more properly explain stuff. So she explains, what these loose souls are, their effect on people, the etc., etc., how demons are trained to go after loose souls, and this is information that I think should have been in episode 1 personally, not just this season, but like episode 1 of the first season. But it's nice that we're getting an explanation now, that they didn't just leave it blank for the entire time. So, overall for Hakwa, she's a good character. She's far more serious than Elsie, but she's got her own charms. Besides that, the other thing that I quite liked about this season was that we actually saw, basically 2 other things. One is that we saw how the previous conquests have actually influenced these girls. Now, and not these girls per se, just one of them in particular. But since she goes to school with Kema, we see her during the season. She doesn't remember what happened with Kema, of course. But we see that she isn't quite the same person she was before the conquest, which is quite an interesting thing. I thought that was a very nice kind of development. So I appreciated that. And the other thing that I appreciated was that one of the girls that he has to conquest, we actually meet her before she gets the loose soul. So we get to see the influence that the loose soul has on her personality over time and be able to contrast it with her personality beforehand, which is quite interesting. I won't explain what a loose soul does exactly, since that's something that's explained later. But suffice to say, we get to see the influence it has, and that's a nice thing to see. That was one of my previous criticisms of the first season. That, and I thought the drama and the story for these girls actually worked out pretty well in the season. They were among some of my favorites from a development point of view. If I have to confess, from the very first season, the only one that I really found particularly memorable was Canon. The library girl I remember, but I wasn't overly keen on. And then I just didn't like the Sundari girl, and then the first one, the runner, and she was just okay. But all 3 girls in this season were kind of more memorable. So I thought that they were better developed. I thought the stories were a little better, better blend of comedy and drama, with the drama being something that the first season was kind of missing. So, and just talking about from a voice acting and music and animation perspective, they're the exact same as the first season. Sorry this is a short review, Basically, I'm just simply saying, what I'm basically saying is that this season is an improvement over the first season. It rectified some of my issues that I had with the first season, not all of them, but some of them. I hear that my biggest issue apparently is, resolved in the next season, the Goddesses arc, which has yet to be, released in English. So hopefully I will do that at some point. Just discussing the contents of the DVD. Basically it's the same as the first season. You have your text, the songs, you have your English and Japanese dubs. One thing is there's no OVAs. So with this one, in the first season, we got a nice kind of 1 minute 30 seconds OVA that was used as a promotional item, but no extras like that here. Now, so I wish that there would maybe a little more extras, but it's fine. So overall, I recommend this season more than I do the first one. It's better. It's more developed. It feels better. It doesn't leave me with a bad aftertaste in my mouth, kind of like what some episodes of the first season did. So, hopefully, I recommend that even if you were kind of unsure about the first season, you should go on to this one. If you hated the first season, don't bother moving on to this one. It's, just a little better in comparison to the first season. But I do recommend this. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye-bye.